Alright, let's get into it. So this is going to be my first video about how to beat every character in Gran Blue. I thought the most important character to start off with was Mr. John Gran Blue himself. So with Gran, there isn't much you have to worry about in terms of buttons. There's no button that's going to be really ridiculous for you. The notable ones, of course, are his 2M being plus. Not many characters actually have a plus on block 2M. So that can reset pressure. You can go. You have to look for these gaps. And if you mash into it, you can get punish countered. You can take a lot of damage. But that goes for a lot of characters, and that's not really something I feel is too necessary to go over with Gran. Just to know it's plus on block, so you have to play around these certain frame traps is the most important thing. None of his air buttons are too crazy. They're pretty stubby, to be honest. The most notable one is this is a really good cross-up tool, so you got to be careful about it. You know, you have the block button, but just know that Gran can get over you pretty easily. Alright, so let's go over his special moves now. What is this even called? I don't remember what this move's called, but we're playing around this one. This is his Quarter Circle Back special move. So, it's usually around -5. You can make it less negative the further out. So, it's really never punishable unless they do something like this, or they end the block string with it. If they end the block string with it, you can get a punish with your lights. It's also throw punishable at point blank. Something to note, but most people don't end any of their block strings with it, so I haven't seen it really done at any rank. So I wouldn't really worry about them using it like that. Maybe it's more of a, like, something poke like this, where it's negative, but you won't be able to punish it from this range. So just know that it's always your turn at this point. -5 is huge. They won't be able to mash even if you do like 6XL here. So let's see. Oh, I didn't do it. That's if you're fast enough, obviously. It takes a second to get this out. So let's talk about the other parts. So this is a true block string, so if you block the first part, you're always going to block the second part. So you don't really have to worry about this. Just know that you have 10 frames to do whatever you want. Let's see if I just have them do it. Oop. I guess it doesn't even matter which one you use, so I'll just use the EX one. It's always -10. I don't think there's a way to really change that. So you should always be able to, well, not every character, but most characters should be able to get their heavy punish here. If I could. Oop. There we go. I don't know why I was having a hard time getting it to record. So at -10, most characters have their heavy button, but other characters have to use their medium here. So just do like a quick combo. Ooh, unless I'm bad. Something like that. You should be able to get a pretty big punish there. I wouldn't really worry about that. Like, it could happen. Maybe they think that they got a hit confirm and they try to do it and then give you a big punish, but usually you don't really see that. And the last part of this move. This is a really tricky move. I don't know why this move tends to be so hard. Maybe it's just online. I have played offline and I've gotten punishes on this every time, but just know that this can be a really hard move to punish. Let's see. Oop. Record it. You should be able to get a jab punish, but I have had problems online, so sometimes I'll try and do a grab punish here, and you'll get pushed out. So just know that you have to go for the jab if you want to try and punish the move. But you are +6, so you don't have to if you feel like you can't get it. This move is one of the weird ones where online I feel like sometimes I just don't get a punish on it. It's one of those things when you're playing online, but offline this is like guaranteed. You should be able to get this punish almost every time. Just know that you need to use your jabs here. If going to be the fastest thing you have. I believe characters like 2B actually can't punish this because they only have 7-frame jabs. So it might be up to your character, but I believe almost every character's close jab, if they have one, is 5 frames. So you should be able to get it. Alright, let's go on to the next one, the fireballs. So the light fireballs, you can try and spot dodge this, but it might not be worth it. Oop, if I can get to spot dodge. You are +2 here. You don't get a punish, but it might not be worth trying to spot dodge often. This doesn't leave you at too bad of a disadvantage. You're still +1. You're just pushed back basically like half screen. This is basically like starting range. Obviously, when you dodge through fireballs, they take a little bit longer to come back, so you should always be trying to do that on most characters with this. Let's see, where's the battle skill cooldowns? So let's see. So when you block it, ooh. Yeah, so that was the default. You block it and it comes almost right back immediately. But then if you dodge it, it takes a little bit longer to come back. I have that set to me. Sure. And then if you block it, bam. So just know that you should try and avoid the fireballs when you can, just to give yourself a little bit of breathing room if you don't have a projectile, or if you don't want him to have his... the medium fireball is a common like block string ender I see. You're +4 here, but there's a lot of things that can happen. You can't... Let's see, get this to record. Alright, so if they do this, you can try and go for your 6XL, get your plus frame to try and run your offense. But if they mash here, so then you can clash if you do your light, but that's not usually what you're gonna do. I just messed up. Oops. You can beat them with your medium if you have a far-reaching medium. You can go for a bigger punish if you have like a running button you want to press or anything. If you have a real big button you want to hit. But if they do this and you try and do your 6XL, you will get stuffed. So just know that this is a little bit of a RPS. Usually you can't lose it too badly because you are at advantage, but just know that if you're trying to go for your 6XL all the time, this is a move that they can use to stop you. Alright, then I want to go over EX Fireball. Yep. So they're +3 here, so this is going to be a really hard thing to deal with. Oop, thought I was still Gran. Usually you have to respect it. They can try and run their pressure again, so if they want to do like, let's see. Something like that, right? You gotta be careful about clashing there. Very common occurrence that I've seen. Usually if you clash, let's see. Oh, I didn't clash that time. So if you mash early enough, you shouldn't clash. But I have clashed a lot of times with this when I see the fireball. Oh, guess I'm not getting my clash anymore. But just know that you can try and mash your light if they're trying to reset their pressure with 6XL, just like how they can mash light on their medium fireball to stop you from trying to get pressure with 6XL. But if you do that, you open yourself up to some pretty big hitting moves, so. Yeah, so you gotta be careful about that. So just know that you are able to get out of this pressure, but you have to take risk. So just try and get into the head of your opponent, you know, try and guess what they're gonna do. Like, take risks that you think are worth it. I don't really see the EX fireball too much. They are negative, they try and do this, point blank. It's only -2. But this move is usually just to beat other people with fireballs. Also, if they're trying to catch you slipping, because it gives a hard knockdown. There's nothing to really go over with the DPs. Besides, I guess, like, they're harder to punish with the, like, lighter DP, doesn't give as much. But I wouldn't really worry about that. They're going to rather use the EX DP or possibly the medium DP. But usually you're going to see anywhere between the EX DP and the unique DP. Obviously, the unique DP is the fastest hitting one, so let me go ahead and show you. So it hits on frame 8, and the EX DP hits on frame 11. Just know that if they use the unique DP, sometimes your safe jabs and your safe jumps won't work. I don't really think I have any safe jumps that don't work against them because I'm playing Veer at the moment on either, so I won't worry about that. But just know that unique DPs for every character are usually the fastest hitting move, or fast hitting DP if they have a reversal. So let's talk about it. After the changes to DPs, all DPs are now counter hittable. So just know that you should be using your biggest hitting move, get your damage, and get your setup. I guess the other thing is to go over is that unique DPs are still the same, where they aren't counter hittable, but you can still get pretty big punishes on them. Stuff like that. I guess we go over boot now. So I didn't go over the classic things that Grans do with boot. So let me unpause. So this is a classic thing I see Grans do all the time. Everyone knows it. Everyone's been there. Anyone that's played against Gran knows that they're negative here on the boot drop, and they try and do DP. So it's not much of a mind game. If you miss your punish, you get hit by a DP. Or if they space it out properly, you might still get by a DP. Just try and react early enough, because if you do, sometimes this will happen where... Let's see if I get like the right spacer. Oh, it's kind of hard to do. But you can safe jab it sometimes, where you do your jab, your whole jab animation plays out. I can't get it right now. It's kind of weird. Just know that if you jab against this, just make sure you're holding back. Sometimes you will safe jab it. I did it one time so far. The problem is I'm getting punishes. Just know that if it's about here, right, then you might get DP'd. You can't get grabbed here, so you don't have to worry about like reacting immediately. So you can try and delay. But just know that if they do this, get your big punish, get your big damage. But just know that this is an option that Gran players will do. Especially if they're low on HP, so just be on the lookout for it. And I think that about wraps up what I want to talk about with Gran. There's not too much to worry about with this character. Oh, actually there is one more thing. His charge. I don't see too many Gran players using this, but it's very important to know that how to play against this move. So obviously, let's go over the basics. First off, when he hits level 3, this is now an invincible move. One thing to note is that it's usually -5 at all. Like, you can space it really far out. I believe you can get it lower. I've gotten it lower before. Maybe they changed it. But now it's always -5. Which means that you almost always could try and do a 6XL to get your pressure going. Obviously they can try and DP after, so let me show you. Ooh, we got counter hit there still. Did I not do it fast enough? Give me 1 second. Alright. Yeah, stuff like that will get DP'd. So, it's another move that you have to play around a little bit, but you are at advantage. You usually can do something. I don't expect them to always throw out DP, so I wouldn't worry about playing around it too much. So just know that you always hit your pressure here. Let's see. Me. Oh, there goes that clash again. Gotta be careful with that. Yeah. Just gotta do it faster. Stuff like that, though. You can always try and hit your medium button, too, if you want to try and just get your poke out. But just know that it's not that big of a deal if you just block it. The problem becomes is that they end block strings in it. So let's see. A common block string I remember is this one. So if you mash here after the medium, then you will get counter hit. Now, there's multiple problems with trying to fight back against this. Obviously, this is all gaps. You can try and DP if you really want to. I don't really recommend it. It's not too big of a deal. None of this is too big. They can try and reset pressure and stuff. But it's, you know, normal Gran Blue mind games. So it's not worth spot dodging this. This is power raise, I believe. So spot dodging power raise doesn't really do much for you. You're usually negative. And also, if you spot dodge, just see, how can I do this? Oh, I don't. Let's see. Alright, now I'll try it. Yeah, you can get counter hit punished here. So just be careful if you're trying to spot dodge. Let's say you think he's going to do Fireball, because that's another option that you can do from this. Right? So, if you're trying to dodge Fireball, you can get hit by Power Raise. It's usually not really worth it to spot dodge the Fireball anyway there, because you're only -1, you're getting pushed out. There's not a whole lot they can do here. So I wouldn't recommend spot dodging. Now, they can always try and charge it up a whole lot. They can cancel it, so it can be kind of a mind game. One of the things you can do against this is try and do your fastest, like, lariat move or anything like that. So, for instance, if they try to do that for Vera, you can do this. I believe when they're charging it, they are counter-hittable, so let's see. Yeah, so this is a counter hit. Yeah. So just know that you can try and do fast moves. A lot of characters have dashes that are basically invincible or have armor on them. So if they're charging that up a lot, you can use those. Like for instance, like Ladiva, you can use the lariat, the unique lariat, and you'll go right through it. Just know that if they're charging this up against you, you don't have to really play against it very much. Just, I would just say pick safe options against it. There's not too much. They can cancel it. It usually doesn't lead them. It usually leaves them more negative if they would have just let the button play out. Because that was -11. That's -6. After heavy, though, I believe it's the same. So they can always cancel this into a little bit of a charge. So they don't even get charged, so when they're doing this, just know that they're just making themselves more negative. If they want to actually get charged from doing this, they have to actually make it more negative. So I would just watch out, just try not to get counter hit by this. In the corner, it now actually leads to something. Let's see. Like I said, I don't really want to start the combo. Just know that you do have to play around Power Raise, but it's still another move that isn't that big of a deal. The moves I suggest really playing around at the end of the day are watching out for his H, after multiple 2Ms. You gotta play around that because this is a big, easy to confirm button. Let me turn off blocking real quick. You have all day. Like most characters. This button is really easy to see it hit. And then you can always get your big hit afterwards. So I just worry about getting big damage. Gran, the last thing I probably want to say here is that Gran in the corner is a menace. You really, really don't want to get counter hit by a heavy button in the corner. That's where all his damage comes from. Like, you don't want to be getting hit by this. This is more than half your health bar, and that's if you have normal HP. So if you're playing a character with low HP, definitely pick your options. Try and be safe. There's not too much he does in the middle of the screen. So as long as you're not cornered, you can usually do a little bit more risk here. I believe that's everything. Oh! Actually, I wanted to go over one more thing. Keep forgetting stuff. His supers. So obviously, you get spot dodge through this one. It's negative a billion if you do. And even after the change the if you block it, you still have a lot of time to punish. Guess that wasn't a punish. That was a punish. I believe. Let's see. Let me check this. It's negative 18, I believe, point blank. Yeah, negative 18 point blank. But if you're like out here somehow and you just didn't spot dodge it, it's still negative 16. It's a lot harder to punish this from here, but you should be spot dodging from here. They can't really chain you down into this. Let's see. Let me turn blocking back on. Did it not record? So, unless they do close H into it, that's the only real block string, and then you could always still get a punish. Ooh, that was kind of safe. Obviously, with whatever character you're playing, you get a different punish. I believe with Vera here, I could have did her unique dash. Oh no, too slow. So from that situation, you just need to figure out what your punish is going to be. But it's still negative a lot. And in most situations where a Gran will do this just randomly, like, you're going to be able to spot dodge it. Usually like on wake up or something if they did it. Just know that at point blank, you should always be spot dodging it. Oop. The other super is negative a billion and he comes to you, so you should always get a better punish. So let me show you that real quick. You can also spot dodge that one. But if you block it normal, you still get your big punish, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much. Now I believe that is all I have to say about Gran. End of the story. Watch out for his plus on block 2M. Play around if he's going to DP off of negative stuff. And watch out for his corner pressure. His corner pressure is good. Anybody with the positive on block 2M is going to have good corner pressure. Just try and stay out of the corner as much as you can and fight for your space.